America has towns that did not simply decline. They were abandoned. Places where schools opened every morning, factories ran through the night, train stations stayed crowded, and entire families built their lives street by street. Today, many of those same places are silent. Empty houses, broken roads, stores that will never open again. And in one town, there is still a fire burning underground. Not for days, not for months, for more than 60 years. The town is called Centralia. In 1962, a small fire started near an old coal mine. At first, it looked manageable, temporary, nothing unusual. But the fire moved underground, into the old coal tunnels beneath the town. And once it reached there, it never stopped. The ground began to heat. Roads started to crack open. Smoke rose from the streets. Toxic gases filled the air. Sinkholes appeared without warning. People could no longer trust the ground beneath their own homes. Families left. Schools closed. Businesses disappeared. And eventually, the government told residents something no one expects to hear. You cannot live here anymore. Most people left, but the fire did not. It is still burning today. And Centralia is not the only place like this. Across America, there are towns that died for different reasons. Some were built for gold. Some survived because of railroads. Some depended entirely on a single factory. And when that one thing disappeared, the town disappeared with it. Take Bodie, California. In 1876, gold was discovered there. Within a few years, thousands of people arrived. Hotels opened. Banks were built. Schools, churches, saloons. An entire town rose almost overnight. It looked like success. But Gold Town shaved one problem. Gold does not last forever. The moment the mine stopped making money, people started leaving. Business collapsed. Families moved away. And the town slowly became empty. Today, Bodie still stands, but mostly as a memory. Then there is Gary, Indiana, a city built around steel. For years, it thrived because of U.S. Steel. Jobs were everywhere. The city expanded fast, but when the steel industry declined, unemployment exploded. People left, crime increased, entire neighborhoods were abandoned. The city did not disappear in a single moment. It collapsed slowly. Another example is Peacher, Oklahoma. Mining made people rich there, but it also poisoned everything. The water became unsafe. The soil was contaminated. The air itself became dangerous. People became sick. Eventually, the government stepped in and relocated the town. Sometimes a town dies because money runs out. Sometimes because industry fails. And sometimes because staying becomes dangerous. There were also towns destroyed by highways. Places that once depended on travelers stopping for fuel, food, and hotels. Then new interstate highways were built. Traffic moved somewhere else. And those small towns were left behind. Even progress can destroy a place when the world changes direction. So why are these places still abandoned? Because rebuilding is expensive. Sometimes the land is still dangerous. Sometimes ownership turns into a legal disaster. And sometimes people leave and life simply never returns. Some of these towns have become tourist attractions. People visit them just to see what remains. Not because they are haunted, but because they feel like time stopped there. That is the strange thing about dead towns. They are not horror stories. They are reminders. Proof that a place can be full of life in one decade and completely silent in the next. America's dead towns are not mysteries. They are failed industries, failed economies, and sometimes failed promises. Places where children once ran to school, where stores stayed open late into the night, where train stations were full of noise, and now only the wind moves through the streets, and the empty buildings remain there quietly, as if they are still waiting for someone to come back.